my name is Chelsea Short, and I'm here to help you with your young readers at home. Here's our question. My first grader is pretty good with technology, but she explodes if she gets bumped out or can't log into something. I understand the feeling, but what can we do to help her? Virtual learning presents many challenges with technology, and you are not alone. First, let your learner know that it's absolutely okay to be feeling upset or frustrated. Even as adults, we run into problems with technology that can be frustrating. Here are a few tips to try. Create a username and a password cheat sheet and keep it posted in your child's virtual learning space. Include the app and the website name, the username, and the password. Put boxes around each website or app information so that it's easy to find during the rush of the lesson. This will take away the stress of having to remember so many usernames and passwords or having to rush to find where they were written down. Practicing these steps outside of school could be a game changer for your student. This leads me to my second tip. Set aside time for your learner to practice going to the website or app, locating and entering the correct username and password. This could be right before dinner at night, as part of your morning routine, or during downtime. Make sure you do this outside of the learning day. It takes away the pressure of having to rush while the teacher is waiting. You could also check website and application settings for save username and password options. If they have it, just go ahead and save those username and passwords so that it's one less step that your child has to do when they are trying to focus on the lesson. One of the more helpful tips that I've given my families is to write down the time that the student was kicked out of the virtual learning platform and what time they were able to successfully return to the lesson. That way I know how much content and what content was missed due to technology issues, and then that student is able to make up that work. Having a plan in place helps my students feel less frustrated when technology isn't working for them. When they do get frustrated with technology, provide a routine that will help them cool down and return to the lesson ready to learn. This might look different for every child, so create a chart or discuss some steps that would work for your child. For example, when you get frustrated with technology, first, I want you to name how you're feeling. I'm angry with this mouse because it's not letting me click where I want to click. Then pick one or two strategies from a short list that will help you calm down. Get a drink of water, walk to another room for a couple of deep breaths, jumping jacks. Finally, try again. Set a timer so that the student remembers to return to the task. Sometimes we just need to walk away from what's frustrating us and try again. It's really important for students to be able to communicate how they are feeling and why, so that as the teacher, I'm able to help them in a meaningful way. Another way to help your student avoid frustrations with technology is for them to understand that it's okay to ask for help. We want them to be successful. We want to help them. Of course, some students reach the level of frustration more quickly than others. So we have a classroom rule of trying something 3 times before asking for help. At that point, I provide a couple of different ways for my students to ask for help. Some students ask by raising their hand in Zoom. Others like to type the message in the chat. I even have a student who writes on a dry erase board or a notebook paper and holds it up to the camera. If your student is struggling to stay connected, make sure that they only have the necessary tabs open in the web browser. I noticed that at the beginning of the week, my students are able to stay connected because they have less windows open. But at the end of the week, after we've gone through all of our lessons, I have to remind them to close their tabs because they say I'm lagging or glitchy, or they're frequently getting kicked out. And that trick seems to help them. I hope your learner finds more success with virtual learning after trying a few of these tips. Thank you for your question.
For more information about teaching reading, please visit www.readingrockets.org. Reading SOS is produced through a partnership of the National Education Association and WETA.